So as you all know, I'd been to the valley of Kashmir, Srinagar, and the hills of Pahalgam and all that, um, 8, 10 days back, whatever. But the thing I came back with was the blessing of the valley, which is the skill of playing santur, which is an instrument which originates, as far as India is concerned, it originates from Kashmir. And not just originates from there, but it was made popular, or even forget popular, it was made known. Nobody even knew about much about santur in the rest of India. It was made known by Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, who is a Kashmiri Pandit, and he came to Mumbai in like 1955 and started to promote the santur as an instrument. Struggled a lot. It was not accepted for a long time as a classical instrument at all because of certain limitations that it has compared to, say, the sitar. But his skills kept on improving, and he made the santur sound more and more what is required for classical performance. And soon enough, it became a major instrument as part of the Indian classical music scene. And so many albums, light music as well as pure classical, have been recorded by him, along with Ustad Zakir Hussain and flutist Hari Prasad Chaurasia and others. So the reason I'm talking about him is two reasons. One is that it turns out that, when I started learning and understanding about the santur, I started to study about Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma's life, and what I found was that he was not just a very great musician, but he was also um, into meditation and Advaita and spirituality. And in fact, he he is one of the musicians who has said that um, the main question that we have to answer in our life is, who am I? And and this is coming from a pure musician. He said, that's my main quest, and I only play the santur to discover who I am. That's the only reason I play the music, is to find out more and more about who am I. Because he said, I know I'm not the body, and when I play music, he gave an example of one concert where he says, I perform only because I forget who I am when I'm playing the santur. I forget the body, and I just flow with the music. And he said there were times when he would play something on the stage which everyone really loved, and it was just something that came from nowhere, some phrase, some shift, whatever, some tune, and it came by itself. And he says, I didn't even know where it came from. And he said, when I would go back home, I would struggle for hours trying to reproduce that or remember what it was, because it certainly wasn't something he purposely created. So clearly he got that understanding of that I am that something more beyond me was what was creating the music on the stage. And the physical body, the brain, doesn't even really remember or know what it was. So it was a way to get in that flow for him. And then he says he found out that a lot of people were listening to his santur music as a background or as a support for meditation. He didn't know that, but somebody told him after many years that, do you know that your music is very popular with the ashrams and so on, because they all play your music for meditation? And he was pleasantly surprised by that. And so he had a thought that he would like to compose something specifically for meditation. So one day when he was just, not aiming for anything in particular, just tuning his santur and just playing something, a new set of notes kind of emerged from the santur. And as you know, in Hindustani music, there are hundreds of ragas, which are different scales and different combinations of notes. And very, very occasionally, a new raga gets created. Very rarely, because most combinations that are sounding pleasant have already been explored and already been played and performed and created. So they're already there. But he said this particular rag that came to him, that set of notes, he realized that it's beautiful, and it is not any known raga at all. So that was how he created this new raga. It's called, and he named it so appropriately. Just listen to the name. He named this new rag because if you create a rag, you get the honor of naming it. It's like having a baby, you get the chance to name the baby. So he named this rag Antardwani. Antardwani. So this is Antardwani rag, is a new rag that has emerged from the santur and from created by him. And it's a very, very, very beautiful rag. And Antardwani, as you know what it means, right? Inner sound, the inner sound. So the rag itself is named the inner sound. So he talked about this whole experience of creating this Antardwani. And so we will hear it and, maybe meditate for a little bit to Antardwani Rag by Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma today. And the other reason I'm talking about him is that it is his fourth or fifth, 2020, fifth death anniversary tomorrow, the 10th of May. So we're not meeting on the 10th, but 9th is close enough. So we are also celebrating the memory of his memory on his anniversary. So, so great. We'll just meditate for a little bit to this Antardwani Rag, and then come back and go into our topic for the day, which is questions and answers. There's at least one or two questions that are there, so we'll take those up, and then we will play one or two songs on the santur live, and that'll be our session for today. Just be with the music, relax. You can hear it, the santur.
Faint. Make it loud.
Slowly looking down, open your eyes. And so, um, if you were to describe one emotion or feeling that the sound evokes, what would that emotion be? And different people may have different, there's no right or wrong, but what does it evoke for you? You're on mute.
Sonal has written blissfulness.
Okay, great.
For me, it is bubbles of joy.
Bubbles of joy. Great. Yep, yep. Or others, what does the sound evoke? Peacefulness. Okay. Purnima Ben, Amruta,
Calmness.
calmness. Okay, great.
The water is
Rakhi,
still.
huh?
Water is still.
Water is still, yeah, still water and flowing water also. Yeah, great. Amruta, you're there?
पता नहीं ऐसा it looks like as if the sun rays are dancing on the streams of water.
Water.
ऐसा लगता है.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. It's just like, yep, droplets, bubbles of water, bubbles of notes just flowing. Yeah, it's just so beautiful.
कश्मीर की
Just love
वादियों
it.
कश्मीर की वादियों का म्यूजिक जो बोलते
हाँ
हैं ना, वादियों का म्यूजिक ऐसा लग रहा था.
हाँ वैसा ही है. वो जो मैंने पोस्ट किया वो देखा ना, वो नदी वाला,
हाँ वैसा ही लग रहा था.
वो देखा है कि नहीं?
देखा
वैसा ही है. हाँ, अंतर्ध्वनि. Yeah, so अंतर्ध्वनि is like, it's like resonates with that innermost self, which is nothing but joy. Today I just discovered a very interesting way to feel compassion for people, and it is so magical. It's been in the back of my mind for many days or many months, but I never actually articulated or found out or zeroed in on actually what it is. And today I finally got it. So I just realized that anyone that you're interacting with, what is one thing that is definitely true about them? No matter who it is, if you're interacting with them, there's one thing that is definitely true. That there are many things, but one thing for sure is that in that person's body, there is a little heart that's pumping, that's beating. There's a heart beating in each and every person, that you meet and talk to. There's a small heart in their body which is struggling and working day and night and continuously just pumping blood all over their body. And if you simply connect with that heart, and you know, you cannot feel anything other than compassion for that person, because here is a little heart that's just struggling and working for years and years non-stop, day and night. It's just working. Everybody has one in them, just working so hard. And what can you feel for such a thing or being or whatever you want to call it? Nothing but feeling, oh my goodness, so sweet. And it just evokes that sense of love for that person. No matter if they're shouting at you, you are in a fight with them, whatever, just go to that heart, just go to that little beating heart in their body, just go and connect with that, and you cannot help but feel love and feel compassion. Just try it out. And I tried it today with a few people, and it was just amazing. And even if it's just a random stranger on the road, you can't see it. And it because layers utne wo heart ke upar itne layers है of the body, of their looks, of their attitude, of their emotions, of their personality. All those layers are on top, but underneath all that is just one little heart that's just pumping away. तो उसके साथ कनेक्ट करोगे तो there's only compassion flows. And then once you're connecting with that compassionate, because the heart resonates with your heart, and your heart is nothing but love and compassion. It's the seat of compassion. वो अनाहत चक्र जो है वो ऑटोमेटिकली जागृत हो जाता है, and you feel that love for that person and for that being, and then out of that love, the interaction, whatever you are doing, it can continue, but it will have a different feel and a different texture to it because of that. So let me go to that one question which Amruta had asked last week. I don't know if she's still there and listening, but I'm assuming she is.
She is. Amruta,
She's there,
show
but she's
yourself.
she's on mute, but at least she can unmute. But anyway, I don't know. So her question was that that if I'm, how do you address
I can listen. I am here only. I was unable to unmute. I'm so sorry.
yeah, you are on mute, man. Okay, now
Yeah,
you're
I
on
was
unmute.
unable to unmute. Yeah.
Okay, now
I'm
you're able.
listening. I'm here
Acha.
only.
Okay, fine. So
Yeah.
she's struggling in having patience to get the required result that we need. So how do you address that? That if you're struggling in having patience to get the required result that we need. So universe is that it's a mirror. वो तुम्हें वो दिखाता है जो जरूरी है. That is one thing. Whatever you need is what the universe reflects. So before we go into the what do you do with that struggle, when you say to get the required result that we need, so it's assuming that it is a result you want from somebody else to do something. It's not something that you want. Something else somebody else has to do to create some result that you want. So
With myself as well.
with
I
yourself
need
as
to
well.
get
Okay.
somewhere. Yes.
Oh, to get the required result we need. Okay. So so the thing is, Amruta, there's who we are ultimately. This is not our emotions, it's not our body, it's it's all of those are simply a reflection of the true self which you are. All those other things are the temporary, like clothes that we put on. We have emotions, we have certain wealth and health and home and relationships, and all those are things that come and go. So that come and go is the unfolding of life. It's like an unfolding. It's like the unfolding of petals of a flower. That's what all this is happening. And first of all, we lose the path when we think that there is any particular configuration or a particular way which is the right way or the better way. Whatever it is, however you are, wherever you are, is already perfect. There is no other goal to reach. There is no other place that is better. Our mind tells us there is something better, there's something better, there's something better, not here, over there, not now, some other time. But there is nothing like that. That's the illusion. You are already perfect the way you are. So there is no required result. There is no required result that you need. You are already the perfect result. You are the perfect culmination of eons, billions and trillions of years of evolution and of of the march of time and of cells and of molecules and everything coming together to make the you that you are. So that perfection that you are is already there. There is nothing that needs to be done. There is no need to tell a flower to blossom in a particular way. It just blossoms the way it blossoms, and it's perfect the way it does. And you are that. You are remotely that. So there is no need to get something just for the game of it. Say, for me, for example, learning santur or playing the santur was not a need. It's just something that I chose to take on, right? So when I choose to take something on, it's simply a game. It's not a need. It's a game. And when it's a game, there is no particular result except the playing of the game itself. And when you're enjoying the playing of the game, you're already enjoying. So then there is no question of being patient to get that result because you're already enjoying. So you're already in that state of playing the game of whatever the game you choose to play. And patience is not even relevant. It's not even required. So that's one way to look at it. That is not required. It's you're already enjoying, and that's the end of it. That's the do all and be all and end all of it. There is nothing else needed. That's one. The other thing is that if you are creating circumstances in your life which require you to, which make you impatient, then that is the direction you need to look at. That what is it showing you? Forget that result and thing that you're going for. Turn around and look back that, oh, I'm experiencing impatience. And that's where the work is. That's where the the direction and the way that you need, that your being wants to go, is to address this thing called impatience. So rather than looking at, we stop looking at what result and when will happen and all that, and we look inside and say, what am I feeling? I'm feeling impatient. And knowing that ultimately, there is no time and there is infinite time and there is no time. Both are true. There is only now. There is only now, 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 now. So there's no question of creating patience. Patience is a creation of time. When there is a lack of time, you're saying there's not enough time. Only then you became impatient. Supposing you had infinite amount of time, would you be impatient? No. And time, there is no finite nature of time. If we look at how time is, there is only now. There is only now. There is only now. So being in the now, and being in the now, which is always present, there is no room and there is no scope, or it's not even relevant to be patient or impatient. There is infinity of time. There is only now. Abhi now mein kya karna hai? Kuch nahi karna hai. There's nothing to be done to be patient. You're already in the now. So that's another way to look at it. So those are the couple of different ways to approach this. And so when you release this, whatever you're feeling, that impatience, what is the feeling underneath that impatience? Irritation or anger or or upset, all those things. Those things, that's the problem. The patience is not a problem. Yeah, wanting something, that lack of something is, and what is true about you ultimately is that there is nothing lacking. So if you look at those feelings underneath of irritation and anger, so those are where you need to look, not at the result. When will this result happen? When will that person become like that? Or when will I become like that? Or when will I change and whatever? Instead of looking over there, you need to look at what is it that situation is evoking in me. It's evoking irritation, and that's what I need to release. If it's evoking anger, that's not a emotion that helps me. It doesn't serve me. It's not what I want. So I let it go, and I let it go, and I let it go. And then when I let it go to the extent that it doesn't bother me anymore, then the impatience does not bothering you, and therefore when the weather is there or not makes no difference, and you're back to your closer to your true self, which is inherently peaceful, inherently quiet, inherently calm, inherently joyful. You're back to that space. So that's the oneness approach to it, that all there is you, and all they have to look at is within. Getting it?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so I don't think we have time for any more questions. We'll take more up next week if we have any, but we'll do one or two songs now on the Santur. You're able to hear me? Yes? Okay. Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. So this is one dhun which is composed by Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, and I love this little tune. So we'll play that. Great. So Amruta had requested one song, which is also a beautiful song from, I forget the name of the film, but here it is. There we go. All right, so that's our little tribute for Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma and his Santur. Great. So we'll so I'll be posting. You've heard a lot of recordings. I think I've posted on YouTube and on Instagram of the Santur, but I'll be posting some more. Can do some more questions maybe next time. So if you have anything that comes up in the meantime, just send it to me on WhatsApp and we'll look at those next week. Okay, great. Thank you. Hari Om.